liberal for going against them. It was to teach them a lesson. But that's only half the picture. Because wouldn't you know it, this whole time, there's a much, much bigger geopolitical picture going on here. Because Spain holds majority control over a very, very important strait in the Mediterranean. Not only do they control it, but they control most of the imports coming in from the Atlantic Ocean through that strait. It's the same corridor that facilitates all US arms and equipment shipments to Israel. Anytime we send them bombs or send them guns or send them anything, it passes through this strait that Spain largely controls. And it's the same corridor that facilitates nearly all shipping in the Eastern Mediterranean. I'm speaking, of course, about the Strait of Gibraltar. Controls the Strait of Gibraltar, especially in the north and on the enclaves in Morocco. Enclaves on Morocco? I shouldn't say in Morocco. I'm going to sound like a sympathizer. Point is, it's literally where all the US weapons pass through. Like when US weapons go to Israel, they have to pass through one specific place in that strait. You want to take a guess what that place would be, what that port would be? It'd be the port in the city of Ceuta. In the city of Ceuta. Ceuta is where the weapons are passing through, and Spain has routinely shut down or turned away weapon shipments from the US into Israel, especially after Spain voted yes on numerous UN General Assembly resolutions critical of the state of Israel and put out the ICJ warrant. Everyone is caught up on the migrant aspect of this story, but nobody is covering the strategic angle. The goal is to own not just the Middle East, but the gigantic body of water that touches every part of the world island that is responsible for most commerce in the world. It's the very same level of Mediterranean control that let Rome dominate the known world. Because see, the goal isn't migration, the goal isn't Europe or even the UN. The goal is the Strait of Gibraltar. What they're attempting to do is dominate the Mediterranean. Mediterranean dominance would be a gigantic strategic boon to the state of Israel, especially where they're at right now. And this is not an isolated incident. They've been making moves all over the Mediterranean. Literally in Cyprus right now, there's a gigantic Israeli exclave, which the Cyprus-Israel connection, that's a whole other story. Definitely deserves its own video if you guys are interested, but all of our weapon shipments go through the Strait of Gibraltar, which right now is monitored by Spain and Morocco jointly. Oh, as well as a small British territory. It's mostly like a vacation town.
Oh my God, bro.
Oh, hell no, man.
Anyways, if these territories were lost by Spain and granted to Morocco, Morocco would become the majority shareholder of the strait, meaning that they effectively control the strait. So no more turning away weapons, and Israel now has an official proxy eye on everything coming in through the Atlantic. They would have the veto power over anything coming into the Mediterranean or out of the Mediterranean. Furthermore, the Mediterranean is how Israel would be attacked or invaded by actors outside of the region. Something that they're definitely thinking of as they have to partake in more and more egregious actions against the Palestinians and the Iranians and the Lebanese. Things like trying to destroy Al-Aqsa, full ethnic cleansing. I mean, things that would bring on full condemnation and potential invasion from the rest of the world on moral grounds. If they can control the Strait of Gibraltar, the Suez, the Gulf, and the Strait of Hormuz, they control the ocean. They control the Mediterranean. They control everything there. Nothing can travel through the most important waterway in the world that literally touches Europe, Africa, and Asia equally without it touching Israeli hands. Do you see? The goal is to project power across the entire Mediterranean. Israel's strategic position, like historically, has been that it's situated in the center of the world island. That's literally why it's called the Middle East. It's why it was so valuable in the ancient world. If Israel is able to project power outwards through their proxies, governments that they effectively control, they'll control the entire Mediterranean. And this is my point. That's why they use the migrants. You've probably seen it. All the coverage is focused on the migrants, on migration. Of course they would use migrants to enact this invasion because we're in the middle of one of the most contentious migration debates in American history, in Western history. They know that all the Israel critical commentators, the one line that they're basically split upon is migration. The left-wing Israel critics, the right-wing Israel critics, They're split on their opinions on migration. And so we're fighting about this. We're arguing about this. Meanwhile, they're stealing the whole Mediterranean from under us. This is the